Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to the Crystal Palace Newcastle Watchalong. I'm your host, Bobby. Just want to quickly go into our sponsors very quickly. We are proudly sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys. Global Mapping Surveys currently assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. The link is in the description for the website and contact details. Thank you so much to Global Mapping Surveys, and we are proud partners of Rafe Esports Energy Drink. Rafe is a powdered energy formula which is mixed with water. It's a healthy alternative to generic canned energy drinks. It's clean, zero sugar, antioxidant rich formula is designed to give you the edge. Use code FTSN22 for a 10% discount. Thank you very much to Rafe and Global Mapping Surveys. And obviously we're here to do the Crystal Palace Newcastle game. We do have the teams. I do have them somewhere hidden on many pages that I have. This is the Crystal Palace lineup. I'm going to have to take that score off so I can actually read the team. So we've got Gator in goal, Ward, Gay, Richards, Mitchell, Schlupp, Decore, Ayu, Eze, Saha, and Edward. That is the Crystal Palace lineup. And the Newcastle lineup is Pope, Trippier, Shah, Botman, Byrne, Guimaraes, Longstaff, Willock, Almiron, Joelinton, and Callum Wilson. Also been a few games already happening so far today. We will get into that probably at half time, unless there's a break in the first half, which I'm hoping not. I like things just to run nice and smoothly and nice and normally. It's always good. But yeah, let's hope for a good game. Let's hope for an entertaining game. Newcastle obviously flying high. Crystal Palace having a mid-season game season. To be fair, they're doing well, but they definitely have their off games where they should have performed better. But yeah, I always look forward to watching Crystal Palace play. They can be very entertaining, but they can also be very poor. Newcastle having a great season. Very good back for Dan Burn. Don't know how he's a left back, but that's where they played him. Botman being brilliant, Shah being brilliant, Trippier being brilliant. Great midfield of Bruno Guimaraes. Joelinton on the left, Almiron on the right, Wilson up front. Alexander Isak is on the bench. St. Maximan is on the bench. So good options on the bench for Newcastle. Crystal Palace have the same issues they always seem to have. Struggling to score goals. Let's hope that changes today. Let's hope for a very entertaining game, at least. We are not far away from the kickoff, guys, thankfully. Let's just make sure I get everything ready. Hoping for goals. Never guaranteed with me, I have to be honest. But let's hope. They're wearing the Newcastle wearing the white and green shirt today. Don't know why. You could quite easily get away with the black and white kit today. Bit weird. It is what it is. Crystal Palace wearing that awesome red and blue with the little squiggles. I quite like that. It's like you've just coloured it in. Quite like it. I think I know it sounds childish when I describe it, but I actually quite like it. I think it's pretty cool. Newcastle having a huddle. Willock is not paying any attention whatsoever. So we're at Selhurst Park for this one, obviously. Patrick Vieira against Eddie Howe. And underway, Newcastle kicking from right to left. Newcastle have kicked off. Doing a kind of a rugby kickoff. It was better than most. Most of them just end up outside, going off out for a throw in. Crystal Palace have got the ball here. Here's Ayew. Still Ayew. He's managed to lose where the ball is. It's gone out for a Newcastle throw-in, I believe. And there is Monsieur Vieira. Here's Decore. Out to Mitchell. One of my favourite left backs, to be fair. Ball's back with Gator. Gator tries to find Ayew. He does nod it on. And Botman's having a moment there, but quickly calms himself. But Crystal Palace have got the ball again with Ayew now. Ward with a cross. Well blocked by Newcastle. He's Longstaff, but cut out by Decore. And the ball is back with Gay. Gay out to Ward. Crystal Palace fans are nice and loud, which is great. So loud, I actually can't hear the commentator, which not so good when if there's something that's important being said. But this will be a fun game. Well, I'm hoping it's a fun game. I've got a horrible feeling it's going to be a 0-0. I don't know why. I hope I'm so wrong. Got a feeling it's a 0-0. There's been some really weird games today. I remember someone saying that I should do the Liverpool-Chelsea game. So glad I didn't. That was awful. Newcastle throw-in. There's Bruno cut out there. I'll take a 0-0. Well, yeah, true. You'll take a 0-0. Colm is a United fan, so he would take a 0-0 with Newcastle up there. I don't know what to expect from this game, to be honest. I've been thinking about it today. I just don't know what to expect. Crystal Palace don't score many. Newcastle don't score many, really. So it's looking like a draw, more likely for me. So, yeah. We're 3 minutes in anyway. Nick Pope with a goal kick. Not playing out from the back here. It's going to be a big kick. It is a big kick by Pope. Finds Wilson, who managed to control it very nicely there. Willock loses the ball. But Newcastle just give it back away anyway when they get it back. Here comes Gay, who's going on for a little stroll. I don't know what that was about. So, yellow card here for Gay. I'd have to see this foul again, to be fair. I didn't notice anything. Gay. I don't know if I'd call that a yellow card, to be honest. A bit soft. Tomorrow's game is the big one, and it's not confirmed, but I think your mid should be prepared for a battle. From little whispers I've heard. Again, not confirmed United team is this. Oh, okay. Okay. We'll have to wait and see. Be interesting to see what the lineups for tomorrow is. Be interesting to see. Very interesting to see. Yes. There's Trippier trying to find a Newcastle player, Longstaff. Back to Shaw, back to Bruno. It goes back to Botman. He's a big fella, isn't he, Botman? DDG, Malacia, Shaw, Varane, Wan-Bissaka, Martinez, Fred, Eriksson, Rashford, Voot, and Bruno. That would be an interesting lineup if that's what you're going for. I have to be honest. Yeah, that's quite good actually. Covering the Casemiro loss, that's quite a good lineup. Here's Willock. Cross in, shot wide by Almiron. I think some fans actually thought that went in. I didn't, but let's have a look, see how close this actually was. So Bruno finds Willock, outpaces Ward. Ward's got zero chance here. I don't know how far wide this was. I'm trying to work this out. Camera angle is absolutely awful for me to see how close that ball went. Yeah, I'm not even going to say that. Big up to Moss. I'm not giving him any airtime. You know I won't. I have zero time for him. It was wide, mate. It was wide. Just I don't know how close it was, but some of the Newcastle fans thought it was actually in. I'm guessing they're the far side of the pitch from the Crystal Palace goal. It didn't look into me, to be honest. But here's Richards to Decore, back to Gator. Here's Schlupp. No one's really keeping possession. That's the bit I don't particularly like. Almiron played it up like a goal and smiling. He's always got that funny smile, isn't he? All the time, even when he's done a foul or he's he's always smiling. Obviously, they sound. Almiron came from one of my American teams. He's just a smiler, big smiler. I suppose if he's joined football, that's great. But sometimes I think it probably can come over quite annoying. Here's Willock up against Decore. Willock, well dealt with by Richards. It's out for a Crystal Palace goal kick, I believe. Not sure the referee really knew here. So Willock trying to outpace Decore. Richards came over. Ball came off Willock last. Hang on, 2 secs, Cole. I'll come back to that one. Brighton and Southampton, I feel kind of shouted today. Paraguayan, South American, smiling football. Question for you: is this season a one-off Almiron? No, he's got the quality. I knew he'd have the quality. I was a bit disappointed it's taken so long for him to show his quality. I think he's brilliant. And I'm not going to knock the MLS because I'm just not, because I think it's quality. But I think the transition from MLS to EPL does take a bit. It shouldn't do, but it does. And I think it's just taking him a while. I don't think this is a one-off. I think he is growing as a person, growing as a player. I think he'll do very, very well for the remaining time that he's here. You know, I'm not saying he's going to be leaving Newcastle, but I think he's very quality. More quality around Almiron. Now he shines with Liga starts. You right, Bobby? Yeah, exactly. I love the kid. I did when he was at MLS. There's been a few that I like. A guy that's just signed for Inter Miami from, I think it's Atlanta as well. Joseph Martinez. I think he would do very, very well in the English league. He would do well in Europe. To be fair, he's strong, powerful, fast. But some just don't want to take the risk of leaving MLS to come here. It's quite sad, to be honest. MLS talent signed Facundo Torres. It's a Delio. but I don't know if that's happening, mate. Alistair Johnson, Celtic in love. Yeah, yeah, the Hill. If you don't know, you don't know. It's something he said when he came out of training for Celtic, and he says, "Oh, the Hill." It always cracks me up. Okay, follow-up question: should one of the big clubs be looking? I don't know if he's that good, but he's definitely like top half mid-table team good. I don't know if he's good enough to play for any of the big clubs, to be honest. There are some players in MLS that can, I think, be that good. Almiron, I always thought was quality. Didn't think he was. I never wanted him at Arsenal. But there's definitely been players I think are good enough for coming higher in the EPL teams. Ismail Coney, he's on here about loving already. MLS young talent. He is Canadian, so yep, he's someone definitely to watch out for. I'm definitely excited about Ismail Coney. Newcastle's big now. New money United calm. They're not a big club yet, Mars. They need to win trophies. Correct. You're not a top 6 team unless you win something. No offense, Tottenham. Well, it is actually offense. Yeah, plenty of offense. Every bit of offense to Tottenham. You're not a top 16. For me, it's still a top 5. I don't believe in this top 6 rubbish. What he'd say, Alistair, that makes Celtic fans love us. We don't get all the stuff over here. But Canadian TV fell in love with Alistair. Interviews 2 and now half of Glasgow. Yeah, he's just loving Scotland. And to be fair, it's easily done. He is Canadian, so he's going to appreciate the mountains, the hills in Scotland, the snow, the cold. He's just going to embrace it, love it. I'm sure he'll probably spend time in Glasgow, but I'm guessing he's going to go to Edinburgh quite a lot as well. Then why people used to say Spud's top 6, never a trophy, and Man U being a world team. Oh, yeah, but Man United are a top 5 club because they've always been challenging for trophies. Tottenham just don't exist for me. They're like a fake top 6 team. Sorry, mate. Do apologise. Don't mean to make you joke, Nicole. Really don't. Alistair is great on TV over here. He literally watches every Premier match too. Yeah, I'll tell you what's weird. As Newcastle have got a corner, is the Juranovic transfer. I am shocked that one of the EPL teams haven't gone to get him. I would have had him at Arsenal. I think he's very good. Very good defensive player, good attacking wise, suit the way that Arsenal play. But he's going to Union Berlin, which is a great signing for Union Berlin and Bundesliga. Very good, But I'm surprised none of us wanted him for £10 million as well. 10 million. £10 million. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. But here comes Newcastle corner. Here is Longstaff finding Trippier. Great shot there by. That was Dan Burn. I wasn't too sure. I didn't want to say his name before I got it wrong, but it was Dan Burn with a good shot there. And Gator did save that comfortably. 14 minutes in. Pick up to Luke. Bobby back in after his excellent analysis of studs. I told Edmin he would be perfect for Wolves. Wolves, that kind of team is perfect for me. Celtic want sell Juranovic now. Did transfer happen? I think it's very close. I think he's flying out to. I think he's in Germany now. I think it's all being finalised. Might be finalised whilst I talk. I don't know because I'm not going to get a notification about that signing, unfortunately. Bobby, so many bargain deals out there, and everyone's spent big. Depay only like 3 million. Yeah, it's a cheap deal, but his wages is an absolute fortune. So yeah, Danjuma, did he go to Everton now? Last place, Lampard. Danjuma, as far as I'm aware, will be joining Everton today, if not tomorrow. There you go. Colm has said it. Danjuma is an Everton player. I don't know if it's official, but maybe Colm does know. Obviously, I'm doing Watchalong, so I'm not getting any notifications about any signings that have happened. Dan Burn being a little bit dangerous here, loses out to AU, and AU is going round the roundabout. I don't know what that was about. Here's Richards back to Gator. Might be good for. Well, there's still time. People need to calm. It's only January. There's still 4 or 5 months football left. Plenty of time. January transfer window does tend to be quite busy in the last few weeks. So watch the space. There'll be a lot of movement, I'm sure. That was a very weak foul by Trippier. Was that an actual foul? Oh. Slightest of touches there. 16 minutes in. Crystal Palace 0. Newcastle 0. Understand Arsenal have started talks to explore the signing Ivan Fresneda. Yeah, he's a decent size. I'm guessing it means Cedric's leaving, so he'll be the replacement for Cedric. He's versatile, plays in the style that we like to play. I don't think he'll be loaned out, despite rumours that he will be. And I still don't think that'll be the last of the signings. Obviously, we've got Cuvier that will be joining maybe today, tomorrow, and Fresneda will probably, if we do get him, because obviously there are other clubs involved in the negotiations, that will probably be decided next week, I would have thought. Before season, I had Everton going down, but then they made signings after the start season, just didn't barely to be safe. But Lampard doing what he does, I guess. We can't be putting all the blame on Lampard for me. This is a bigger problem. These are players that are playing in a club that they don't know what's going on with the club. The club is a mess. They're meant to be getting sold. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that's happening, which isn't great for Everton fans. So, for the players, I'm sure it's hard on them as well, because they don't know what they're doing with their future. Love a freshness stadium. Young and football IQ amazing and play both sides. I like it. Yep, exactly. I do think it might be Sed's mum died. I think I heard. I don't know what that means, mate. Sorry, God. Danjuma has just completed medical tests as new. Time to sign contracts after deal agreed last night. Loan until the end of the season. Oh, it's only a loan. Oh, okay. Oh, it's buy. Got you. But then when they got Onana and Cody, Tarkowski thought Everton would be okay. It's a bigger thing probably. Cedric's mum has died. Condolences to the Suarez family then. That's a shame. Doesn't change the fact that I still want Cedric to leave. Just so you know, should never have come. He's on an absolute fortune at Arsenal. I don't know what they're doing here. Just a corner or a goal kick? It looks like I think it's a corner to me. Oh no, it's a goal kick. It should be a goal kick. It's a Palace. So Newcastle got a corner here. I should at least stop calling. Yeah, that's probably not the best term right now. But yeah. That is a shame, but I still want him to leave the club. I want him to we need to get rid of that last little bit of deadwood that we've got in our club. Just a little bit of players that just shouldn't be there, and we can move on. And Newcastle, I don't understand why they can't play in black and white. It's always to avoid colour clash, and I don't know. I can't say this is the best quality game I've ever seen. Again, so this is the kind of thing I expected from Newcastle, where they would slightly drop off a little bit, and they are now. They are lacking that extra bit of quality that I think they need. Big up to Huffy Gaming, bro. Which football team do I support? I support Arsenal, mate. But I'm very non-biased, so I don't mind who wins out of these two teams, to be fair. Big up to you, though. Thank you for tuning in. Manchester United will be looking to offload. Yeah, I heard this. I heard that just before I came on, actually, in the sub-his turn. I was quite shocked that you're still thinking of offloading him, to be honest. I'm quite shocked. Joe Linton shooting drunk there. We've still got, yeah, I know. I noticed. Well, I was going through the some stuff the other day, and I was thinking we've still got Mainsy. Weirdly, I forgot about him. I totally forgot we had him. I don't know why. I hadn't forgotten Roniston because that is the worst signing we've ever made. And I remember Colombia. Dello when he gets back. Yeah, but that's still, you've still just got one right back though. Portuguese softies, Tavares will be sold, I'm sure of it. Marsenal, we got some more for you. Well, ETH wants Dumfries. Okay, that's fine then. That makes more sense. And Dumfries would suit Ten Hag more than, because I know that you were trying to get Gusto as well, and I'm surprise, Gusto has now been linked with Chelsea, which makes no sense whatsoever. So we're 22 minutes in. Here comes Newcastle. Here's Almiron. I think it's at another corner. It is another corner. We are turning to Ajax 2.0. Ajax are way better. I'm only kidding. But they are my Dutch team, so it's not a bad thing for me. I do like Ajax. Always have done. Probably since about early 90s, I'd say. I've always liked... yeah, I was just going to say that Calm. I remember Kwame signed him from Ipswich. Yeah, because I used to live just down the road from Ipswich. So yeah, that was a big news story back then. And yeah, bad signing. Sonogo was later, but Kwame was a lot earlier. Yeah, that was an awful signing. Big up to Huffy Gaming again. Manu coming for you guys, but Casemiro ban is hurting. Anyways, I do want Arsenal to win the league. Thank you very much, Huffy Gaming. Big up to you. But it'll be a good game. Colm will be joining me tomorrow, who's a United fan. Will be doing a watch along of that game. So if you want to tune in, more than welcome. It'll be me and Colm doing a watch along together. Ajax maybe best club. Yep, always will be. Yeah, we won't go into that. Hopefully Mark gets better soon, and because he's obviously had an issue, sadly, recently. Give it another year in the next World Cup, the Netherlands will be placed by a United team. Cole wants Man United midfield gonna be Fred Eriksson. I've just read your comment, Cole. Fred Eriksson, Bruno, or Tom get in there. I'll be fine. No, you're not. I'll ban him. Bring Van Gaal back, Colm. He's an interesting character, Van Gaal, I have to say. I know people. He's very much like Marmite. You either love him or you don't. Okay, so the Fresneda. I'll get used to his name at some point. Is in talks with Arsenal as we speak, so that's always good news. But yeah, I like Van Gaal. He entertains me. He just does. He doesn't act like a manager when he's interviewed, and I quite like it. you know, I know it's part of their remit and they have to do it. It's, you know, but you shouldn't have to do the press answers that you're advised to give. You should just be you. You know, don't be controlled by anyone else. As long as you're not disrespectful or rude, I think you should just be you. Be quirky. Moss, from what I'm hearing, but not 100% confirmed. Fred, Martinez, and Ericsson with Rashford, Boot, and Bruno up top. Yeah, I think that's quite a decent. Yeah, Van Gaal, not my. I love Holland. I find Van Gaal quite funny, to be fair. Ivan, not Tony Fresnel. I want Ralph. See, the thing is, Crystal Palace get close, and I just know nothing's going to happen. But here comes Newcastle on a break. Well, it was a dangerous break until Newcastle slowed it down a bit. Here's Willock. It's out for a goal kick. I want Ralph to come back and be the director of football. He is probably the best director of football United can have, to be honest, because he will not cope with any rubbish that goes on upstairs. Obviously, the upstairs stuff will hopefully be sorted soon. Sure, mate. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting lineup. I'm looking forward to talking about the lineups tomorrow. Maybe if you're scared, I guess put a CB. Yep. I had one Bob, but if I do two, maybe. Oh, cheers, Moss. I do have entertaining games, you know. I do have some, and you have 0-0s too. Just saying, you do have 0-0s. Martinez was originally brought into Ajax to play CDM, so he can. Yeah, he can. That's why, and we have to be honest, Moss. We all wanted him as well. Martinez is multi-talented, just like Zinchenko is. So yeah, he'd be doing very well as CDM, to be honest. Interesting. But yes, it's not just me that has 0-0s. Don't forget that. I can't remember the last 0-0 I've had, actually. It's been a while since I've had a 0-0. Can't think of any recent ones. I'm only saying that because I always have to come in here and delete the goal scorers from the previous game. And I can't think of the last time I didn't have to do that. I've had some boring games that have still had some goals in. And I've said this before and I'll say it many times, but the Man City 4 Chelsea 0 game for me was boring. I hated it. The Butcher of Manchester. Yeah. I could see him playing CDM. I think he'll be very good at it. I just don't know because I could just probably see him maybe getting a red card more likely as CDM. Maybe, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking you tend to make more tackles when you're in midfield. Newcastle looking like Werder Bremen. Yeah, true. I do. Don't like it. I have heart attack games normally or last minute winners. Yeah, true. Chelsea I woke up for and boring. I didn't even bother watching it, mate. Someone told me to do a watch long of it, and I'm glad I didn't because that was just awful. Mind you, this game's not much better. So because I'm literally talking to you guys and reading the comments. I've got all the sound in my ears, so if anything does exciting happen, I will turn my head quickly. To hack Odegaard is Ten Hag's plan. Calls Odegaard. Yeah. The thing is, if he plays CDM, he can drop deeper and make it a back five. Yeah. I think you're going to do a Newcastle to us, to be honest. This is why I'm still thinking a draw. It still just shouts to me draw. Doesn't shout to me an Arsenal win. Anyway, Newcastle have got a free kick. There is 4 people standing over it, so I haven't got a clue who's taken it. You got Trippier, Shah, Willock, and Longstaff, I think, is the other one. It's very central. So I would go Share, to be honest, because he's got a cracker of a shot. Share's stepping away from it, and it's just Trippier now. So Trippier is definitely taken. It's very central, though. It's a set piece play that they've obviously trained up before. Yeah, we know. Scared Colm backs us for the title, so he knows. Yeah, it's Falgate, Trippier goal, maybe. I'll take any goal scorer right now, to be honest. It's not exactly exciting. I'm not scared about the game tomorrow. What will happen will happen. If you beat us, then I hope we make you work for it. We're one of the only teams to take 3 points off you lot this season. Very true. Very true. Yeah. I'm not even scared about the game. I just think it's going to be an Arsenal United game, and it's going to be feisty. There's going to be some tackles in there. The crowd's going to get on United's case. There's a game tomorrow, Leeds versus Brentford. Be a good game, actually, that one. And then the one that me and Colm are doing as a watch-along is Arsenal versus Man United. So that should be a good game. True goal. I wouldn't mind a Trips goal. Ugh. We had to get on the FPL talk, didn't we? We had to. Zaha. Oh, no, I got rid of him. Oh, okay. So player down, injured at the moment. Carabao Cup first leg games are this week as well. I think Eze's just having to walk off here, but he looks fine, so I'm sure he'll get back on again. The game will get back underway shortly. Come on to 33 minutes played. Newcastle owners are there today. I do love the fact that they go to these smaller grounds, especially the type like Selhurst Park as well, because that is a typical old stadium. It's not luxurious like some of the newer stadiums. It's got proper age, probably stinks, like. But you always knew when you were at Highbury, for me anyway, that it just stank. But it was like of many, many years. Here's AU. Oh, honestly, I don't. Personally, at Crystal Palace, I would sack their scouting team or their attacking team, like training team, because honestly, they just suck when it goes forward. That Mickey Mouse Cup that United are going to win, we are going to go mental because we forgot what winning trophy I feel like. Well, don't count your chickens yet, because obviously Newcastle's still in it as well. That'd be an interesting game if that is the final. United versus Newcastle final. That'd be interesting. Oh yeah, I've got Callum Wilson 2. Come on, Callum, bag one. It's all good, calm. It's something better than the Spuds. Yeah, the Molyneux has a smell. Yeah, the Molyneux has a smell as well. With the Molyneux, you've got 3 old stands. So you've got the Jack Harris, Steve Ball, and the Billy Wright, and then the newer stand, which is the I can't remember what it's called, Stan Cullis stand. That's new, and I don't like going in the new one. I like going into the old ones. So I either go into Steve Ball or the Billy Wright stand. and it's just got that smell, that old stadium smell. I just love it. Yeah. Newcastle corner here, by the way. The game's pretty boring, which is why I've hardly talked about it. Oh, Newcastle shot there. Oh, chance cleared. I don't know who cleared it off the line there, to be honest. I think someone just cleared it off the line as well. It's now a foul here to Newcastle. All right, so Newcastle were claiming there was a handball here. I didn't see anything really. Ward heads it. Joel Linton with a shot. Tyrick Mitchell. Where's he meant to put his hand? I suppose it's not down, but it's a bit harsh. The check is complete. I'm glad it hasn't been given, because honestly, that's just mad. I think by that point, Newcastle will be focusing on top four battle more than the cup. I don't know. I think they might want this. I think they might focus on the cup. I wouldn't blame them. Going to go to Wembley, got a chance to go to Wembley, chance to win a trophy. Be great for the new owners. And you're guaranteed to go to Europe as well. So, for me, I don't know. I think they might go for it. I really do. So Newcastle should have had a corner there, but they didn't. But to be fair, that kind of cancels out one they shouldn't have had earlier. So it's fine. Yeah, I get that. But securing Champions League football takes priority, does it not? See, I think Newcastle, the hierarchy, are probably thinking we are way ahead of schedule here. Better than we ever expected. Right. And yeah, they probably would like Champions League. But I think they've got a game plan themselves. So if they got it, brilliant. If they didn't, worst case scenario, they're still in Europe. The type of owners that Newcastle are, they want exposure, global exposure in Europe. And you'll still get that with Europa League. So I think with a lot of the non-English owners, they just want global exposure, and they'll get that. I think Newcastle's. I don't think Newcastle will finish fourth anyway. I think they're more likely to be a fifth finisher, to be honest. If I was Newcastle, I'd go for it personally. You're allowed to show YouTube Tony's TikTok. I just sent you on WhatsApp. I don't think you're allowed to show anything like that, to be honest. I don't think you're allowed to. I don't think you're allowed to show TikTok. I'll have a look at it later, though, mate. I'm fed up seeing Kane to United would be amazing. He's all this and that. I'd rather go get Victor from Napoli. Yeah, but it's a massive signing if United got Kane, wouldn't it? I don't agree with it personally. I think just let him rot now. Let him rot without any trophies. It's his own choice. He could have got out a lot earlier. I still have so many do's or don'ts now still with that. You know why, but maybe matters. As YouTube review. UK states different, and mine says YouTube with a little CA on it. It could be that, yeah. It could be very different because it could be because Canadian, yeah. Could be. That might be an issue. I don't know. You need permission from the creator, yeah. Yeah, it's just not worth the risk because we might get it taken down for then Tony to have to kind of give us permission to use it or something. It's just not worth the hassle. It's just not worth it. Like when I have a break today, I'll be putting music on at half time, but I know that music can't get taken off due to the fact it's YouTube's music and it comes out of their studio. So I can put that on whilst the video plays whilst I'm on half time. So I'm always very careful what I say or talk about when I make the videos that I make. I'm always very careful that I'm don't use something I shouldn't use. So yeah, I'd rather be safer than take a risk. And re-uploads kill algorithms. Yeah, it does, because it means it's been taken down in the first place. It shuts weird stuff, and yeah, that allow all kinds of crazy. Yeah, I totally get it, because there's some stuff that I watch on YouTube sometimes, like reaction shows to like comedy and stuff, like an American watching some British comedy, but they're literally playing the show, like literally playing it, and it's allowed. I just don't get it. I don't get YouTube. I really don't. I enjoy doing what I do here and on the Armory. I have no wish to try and understand it anymore. I just know what not to do, and that's the best way. Copyright is such a fine line between no problem and I'm taking it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's madness. Well, we've gone 42 minutes gone now. Still 0-0. Newcastle are the better team. Crystal Palace have got literally nothing going forward. I'm even surprised Saha's actually playing, because he hasn't done much. And to be fair, Eze hasn't done much either. So that'll be really interesting. What's going to happen to Saha? Will Saha stay the January window, or will he leave before? They've got a chance of getting some money, because I don't think Saha will sign a new contract. If he does, that's him done, you know. Agree, calm, and then no idea what was the issue as well. Yeah, exactly. If they're going to do something, they should at least tell you what you've done wrong. Newcastle keeping Sellers quiet like Arsenal did match night 1. Yeah. It's mad to think that this Crystal Palace team drew 1-1 with United. This is why I think Newcastle won't make top 4. They're very good, but they just lack that little bit of oomph about them. They could do with a bit of better quality. Almiron's gone down, rolling down like he's just had his leg chopped off. Pretty sure he hasn't. It's not a yellow card either. It's just a foul. But Almiron's gone down like someone's just chopped his leg off. Let's see how. Yeah, that wasn't a big foul. Big up to King. Hope you're doing well. I will bring up your name in a minute. If you're liking the content, please consider giving us a like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 300 before the end of the season. We're number 1 place for your Premier League US. We have Football Lounge. We have breaking news when we can. Oh, I thought Newcastle going to score there. Breaking news when we can do it, and we always talk about football constantly. We do as many watch-alongs, mainly at the weekends. And there's just loads of stuff coming out on Full-Time Sport Network. We're sister channels with a Man United channel, Tottenham channel, Arsenal channel, Liverpool channel. So yeah, please consider us. Oh, hello. Saha's asking for a foul here. I'm just going to try to quickly go for these I'll never forget that experience. That's always wanted to see a Premier League match away with Arsenal. Yeah, Moss was there. Big up to King. Good weekend, King. Come on, Callum, FPL. But draw always nice too. Draw would be good for us. I don't care about any other team. Just worry about myself. That's all I ever do. I need goal rush back, methinks, down the stretch. Yeah, goal rush is a strange one. It's hit and miss, isn't it? I think it all depends on what type of 3 o'clock games there are. Corner, over the bar. Was a chance by Richards there, but it was over the bar. Two minutes of injury time. We'll come up to 45 plus 1 at the moment. It is still Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. We'll be having a very short break once it's half time. Just get everything ready for half time. Newcastle will be far the better team, but they just haven't managed to take their chances yet. We'll go through the stats at half time when I do get back. And if there's time, I'll go through the games that have already happened today. Here's Willock to Dan Byrne. And the ref decides to blow for half time. Let's quickly get. And we're bringing the Football League show soon. There you go. Breaking stuff from Colm there. Colm, King, Mosh should have FTSN, FPL, maybe Oliver. Yeah, there was already one. Yeah, there was already an FPL show. But guys, I will be back very, very shortly. I'm just going to have a quick break. I will be back very soon with all the information from the first half. Take care for now.
Get some food in you. Step 3, you grow hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, you grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Step 1, wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, you grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other
Okay, I'm back. So I've got the stats. So the stats for the first half: Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. Possession for Crystal Palace was 39%, 60% for Newcastle. No shots on target for Crystal Palace, 3 for Newcastle. 3 shots for Crystal Palace, 8 for Newcastle. They had over 100 more touches of the ball than Crystal Palace. Yellow cards, 1 for Gay in the fourth or fifth minute, so it's very early on, 4th minute to be exact. Offsides, none. So yeah, that is the stats from the first half. Newcastle will be the better team. Crystal Palace are just nothing going forwards. Let's go into the games that have happened already this weekend. Obviously, 12:30 kickoff between Liverpool and Chelsea finished 0-0. Yep, that's literally all I can say about it. It was dull. Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Anthony with the goal for Bournemouth. Latara with the assist. I think that was probably one of his first games for the Bournemouth, I believe. Sam Surridge with the goal for Nottingham Forest, and Brennan Johnson with the assist for all you FPL fans out there. Leicester 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Albrighton and Barnes with the goals for Leicester. Matoma and Ferguson with the goals for Brighton. Stupinan with 2 assists for the FPL fans. Southampton 0, Aston Villa 1. Ollie Watkins with the goal for Aston Villa. Douglas Luiz with the assist. And in what has been talked about as the El Sacchio game, but I've read a statement about from Moshiri. He doesn't have the power to sack him. Read into that as much as you want. Jared Bowen with 2 goals for West Ham and Antonio with just the 1 assist. There will be 2 games tomorrow. Oh no, 3 games tomorrow. Leeds versus Brentford, Man City versus Wolves, and Arsenal versus Man United, which I will be back to do a watch along with Colm. And on Monday night, it will be Fulham against Tottenham. I sadly won't be able to cover that game at all. But that will be an interesting game. I have to say, the Fulham-Tottenham game. So, yeah. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. We are back. We're probably about 6 minutes from the second half kicking off. So I'm going to get the banner and make sure I change it now before I forget, because I always tend to. I have a tendency to actually forget to take the halftime banner off. But yeah, not a bad game, really. Newcastle have been more dominant. Crystal Palace have been pretty poor going forwards. It doesn't surprise me. They've always just lacked a striker, haven't they? Always have. I can't think of a striker. Maybe it's my Arsenal head on, sincere, right? That just scores goals. There may have been one before, I suppose Dougie Freeman and stuff like that, but that was when they were probably in what is now the Championship. So, they just struggle in front of goal all the time, even with Saha, Eze, Elise. When it comes to the front man, they just struggle, and it's mad, because there are players out there that they could sign that I think would help. But I don't believe Crystal Palace have made a signing yet, as far as I'm aware, in the January transfer window. But I'm sure they'll be mad not to go out and get a striker, because it's clearly what they're struggling with is scoring, and they probably could do with getting a midfielder. Wouldn't shock me Conor Gallagher moves at some point. Yeah, that wouldn't be a shock move for me if Conor Gallagher moves to Crystal Palace. Probably a loan, I would have thought, would have been the more sensible. Should be Edouard, I think, but they never stick with it. See, Edouard was very good in the Scottish League, and I'm not being horrible to the SPL. It's very different from the EPL. But he's definitely got the quality and the ability to score. I just don't understand why they struggle all the time. I really don't. Elise and Zaha, class ballers. Eze I like too. Yeah, I like Eze. I'd have Elise and I'd have Eze in our squad. I'd be delighted with both of those. Zaha, it's too late now for me. I think if we hadn't signed Trossard, I think Zaha would have been like my final option for someone that comes in. For it'd give us at least 18 months of Zaha before we'd need to upgrade. But yeah, I think it's too late for Zaha for any big club now. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what he does. Really will. Does he stick with Palace? Does he think that he's got hope somewhere else? I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I'll be surprised if he stays at Palace. But I'm surprised he's still there now. Massive game tomorrow in the North East. Sunderland versus Middlesbrough. That's a massive game. But yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens with Zaha. But then that's a huge loss for Palace once they lose Zaha. Doucouré good, but thought he would be better, even better in Prem. I think he's just lacking the quality next to him. He's with Schlupp and it was Schlupp today. Who, no offense, isn't that good for me. I'd still take Decore at Arsenal. I think he's talented, very talented. But you need a strong partner with you. There's Elise warming up. Be interesting to see when he comes on. Maybe I was right. Seko Fofana was maybe the one at Lons. Wonder if he could be made into a party. I still think Onana. I'd still take Onana. If Everton go down, I'd grab Onana. I think he's quality. I think we could coach him into an outstanding player, really, really outstanding player. To be honest, I really like him. You may be right. It was Decore and Gallagher. It would be Diamond. Well, that's the thing. He was. I think Gallagher with Decore would be brilliant, but it's Decore with Schlupp. Decore looks good today, but then Schlupp just it doesn't look right. I've never liked Schlupp, to be honest. It's not a player I've liked, but the players are back out, so I better get some sound back in. Yeah, Everton get down, get some players I like on the cheap would be nice. Yeah, I would nick, depending on what happens with Fresneda. I'll get used to saying his name at some point. I'd consider Patterson, and I'd definitely grab Onana. And I think Gordon can be moulded into something better than he is now. I think something's not quite right in his head. I think someone just needs to teach him and put an arm around him. Personally, for Anthony Gordon, I think he's got the pace. He's got the ability. It's just his end product. He's always lacking the passing and the shooting of Anthony Gordon. But I think no, I think that one's definitely gone. I think his head is no longer there. I don't think you can grab him back anymore. I think that one's gone. He's too interested in other things, and I think when a player gets, there's a foul there, but the ref is playing on. Here's Almiron to Bruno. Oh, good chance here for Newcastle. Here's Wilson. Newcastle starting very, very brightly at the start of this second half. The Crystal Palace player is still down as we stand. The ref has stopped it now. It is Decore that's down. People laugh, but I mean, DCL was one of the best youth strikers I've ever seen. I mean, not dynamic like Kevin, but quality finisher. He seemed to shoot. I just think he's just lost his head. I don't think he can get him back. Yeah, I think the injuries and the loss of confidence has led his head to go elsewhere, which happens with players. You can just lose them. It's happened with a few Arsenal players in recent years, where they just lose their interest and they just want to turn up for the game and play the best they can and get on with their own personal life when they come back off the pitch. And that's DCL for me now. And I don't think you can get him back. You'd have to make him fall in love with the game again. And I don't think you could get him back loving the game, to be honest. Decore's back up again. I do get what you mean. He's still young enough, but I think because you're in Canada and I'm in England, we see more of his personal life here. So I think he's very much more interested in other stuff and other hobbies and activities now. And I think he'll do this as long as he can, and then he'll crack on with that. I think he'll be big in something else after the game. Will Hughes is warming up. Yeah, I think that was because Doucouré was down, but Doucouré's back up. I think Doucouré's fine. Hopefully this game adds something, like a goal would be nice. But we'll have to wait and see. But it's still just Newcastle building attacks right now. As soon as it goes anywhere near the Crystal Palace attack, it just seems to fall apart. But here comes Eze, commentator's curse. Here's Ed, and then it does break down. But Newcastle have given it back away. Here's Schlupp. Sorry, but I don't rate him. Crystal Palace are always just like a couple of players that shouldn't be there. Joel Ward, no offence, mate, but you're not good enough to play in the Crystal Palace team. And Schlupp is the other one. And Ayew is also. Do I know anything that will happen with the Tony situation? Yes, it should be being dealt with soon enough. Soon enough. I can't say on air, but yeah, it will be dealt with soon enough. Yeah, we don't get all the gossip like your media papers love. Yeah, I know. It's just, yeah, his head's turned, and he's got more interest in other things, and that's fine. You know, whatever makes you happy. You know, I'm not going to say you must love football, and that is it. With all his injuries and his periods out of the game, he's just found more interests and more love somewhere else, and that's absolutely fine. I just don't think he can turn his head now, to be honest. And that's, you know, it's sad because he did have the ability to be very good. He's gay. Edouard. Oh. As soon as I see Ayew as a centre forward, I just panic. Here's Ward with a cross. Poor cross. Absolutely useless. He has to pay all his winnings to charity. Tony been making loads. Yeah. Here's Almiron. Trippier. Offside there. Yeah, the Tony thing is probably best not to talk about on air. It's just safer. Safer bet. Steve Parish being bored by Gareth Southgate there. And another boring man, Mark Bright. Brilliant. Poor Steve Parish. Surrounded by boredom. I do find Mark Bright very boring. And he's sat with Gareth Southgate. Oh my word. Hopefully this game adds something soon, because it is rather dull. Newcastle bossing possession as always. You know what? Next year, loan Balogun to PV. Like that idea. And Sambi to Burnley. Like that on. I need to get him. The Sambi one, yeah, Sambi needs a whole year out on loan for me. Needs to bulk up, needs to constantly play. Balogun, yeah, he needs to do something in the EPL for me. So Palace would be a good option. Especially if Zaha does leave, that does open up that position there for Balogun, because he is like a left striker, can play centre forward as well. But here comes Newcastle. Here comes Bruno, cross, Newcastle corner. I think PV done a brilliant job, as people thought he would fail with us at Palace, and he actually makes players better. I find it crazy that people just think Vieira would fail because of his past. Now, not everyone does amazing jobs at the previous clubs. Klopp didn't. There was a spell he had at, I think it was Mainz or something, Not everyone does brilliantly at every club. De Zerbi didn't. He had a couple of bad spells in Italy, and then had a decent one, and then went on to Shakhtar, did well there. You just can't just look at a managerial career and go, well, you've done badly there, you're going to be a bad manager. It's there's more to look into than just assess how he's done at certain clubs. It just doesn't make sense. He was at Nice, Patrick Vieira, and wasn't a great team. So he did as well as he could. Crystal Palace, he's doing well, but Crystal Palace are not a good team still. They're still, for me, at least 4 players away from being a good team. Goalkeeper needs to be changed, right back needs to be changed, centre midfielder and a striker, and then they'll be a good team. Then you can actually perfectly go, yes, is Patrick Vieira a good manager or not? Where should we put Marquinhos, Bobby? Maybe at Arsenal. Marquinhos definitely knows to go out on loan as well, somewhere that he'll play quite a lot. I think that may be a little bit too much for Marquinhos. I think he might be better off at a lower team in France or a lower team somewhere else. But yeah, again, he needs a full loan where he's constantly playing. You're right, it is what you do the present that matters. Exactly. What you do somewhere else doesn't really matter for me. Everything needs to fit to really work well out. So there's so many factors when it comes to being a manager. It's madness. Lampard being absolutely lambasted at Everton, that's not all his fault, and it wasn't Gerrard's all his fault there either for me. It just didn't work out, and he'll move on, and I'm sure he'll do well in his next job. Lampard, so many factors going wrong at Everton. It's not just him. It's the $500 million spent on players that were just useless. I heard something the other day about they turned down the chance to sign Erling Haaland, and they signed Sandro, what's his name, Ramirez or something, instead of signing Erling Haaland for 3.4 million. It's just madness. Henry didn't do well coaching MLS. Yeah, I can't see him coming back into it, to be honest. I'll be surprised if he goes into coaching. So some just don't. You're just not good enough to be a coach, and that's fine. Stick with being a pundit for me, Henry. Arsenal or maybe Sporting or something. Speaking Portuguese team would be good actually. Like a Sporting Braga or something like that. Not too high up. You don't want to go too high up because you want to be him. You want him to be constantly playing or playing as many games as humanly possible. I don't see the point in sending people out on loan if they're not going to play there. It just seems pointless to me. So yeah, Marquinhos to Braga would be a good one for me. Yeah, you're right about Everton. Yeah, Everton's got so many issues, and I said this to Matt before the season that they've got to strip back and become a very basic quality car to move forward this season. They've got to try and survive, and try and survive on the very basic rations. And they might do it, they might not do it, but we'll see. I think the Dan Juma signing is brilliant for Everton. I think that is Joel Linton with a shot. Okay, so collects that easily. PV is a damn good coach. Yeah, Vieira, I like Vieira. For me, there was no doubt that Vieira would be a good coach because he was such a good captain. For me, if you're a very good captain, you're going to be a good coach. Saha fouled there by Trippier. We're on 57 minutes gone here. It is a yellow card for Trippier. Is it Trippier or Longstaff? I don't know who's got the yellow card there. Yeah, so it is Trippier that gets the yellow card there. Or we've been setting him up. Hawkins will be deadly someday. I know it. I'd have him. You know, that one I actually get quite excited about. I quite like that kid. Obviously, I don't know if you've heard, Moss, but there's a Canadian that has signed for the Man United ladies today, along with Cascarino, the lady that I was very impressed with in the Euros. She has signed for United Women as well. So yeah, United making really big moves in the WSL. Arsenal still looking for a striker to replace, well, not replace, but cover Miedemeier and Mead being out. So that'd be interesting to see who Arsenal go for in a striker wise. But I think Man United have made some really good signings, trying to cement third, fourth. Exactly, Bobby laughed all his new gen and said Defo P not good enough for us. I was like, you were not alive when he played, yeah. I can't remember what her name is. She's a centre back. Centre back. If you can find out whilst I'm doing it, if not, I'll message it later. But yeah, it's a centre back that's signed for United today. Can't think of her name. It's not very Canadian. I remember that. I think Saha might be having a problem here. Let's have a look. Here's Eze. Yeah, he's just pulled up for no reason. There's no challenge. Yeah, something's pulled. There we go. Yep. Auger Riviere. Yeah. Sorry, it wasn't very Canadian. So super good fullback, wing back today. Okay, cool. Yeah, so she signed for Man United Women along with Cascarino. I think that signing is, I can't wait to see her play in the WSL. To be honest, she really impressed me in Euros playing for France. Cascarino, I really loved her. I thought she's brilliant. Still not as good as Mead, but she just excited me every time. They need her to work with a super Canadian golf score, Leon. Okay. Oh, Newcastle had a close chance there through Bruno. Has it gone out for a corner to Newcastle? I believe it has. So Almiron here with the cross, headed out by Gay. Bruno. Oh, yeah, just missed a couple of Newcastle. Oh, it wasn't a corner. It was. I don't know because they were replaying it. Here's Bruno. Here's. Oh, hello. What's happened there? For some reason, I've just decided to turn my TV off, which is brilliant stuff there. Currently, it's a watch-along of me finding the TV channel that I watch it on. There we go. Amazingly, Saha's coming back on. I'm quite surprised by that. 60 minutes gone now. I know, but I remember it because I remember it wasn't Canadian at all. And I'm like, I'm not going to remember her name because I had a feeling you might pop in later and I was going to tell you about it. And I was hoping I'll be able to remember the name. But I was like, no, I'm not going to remember it. I remember Cascarino because Cascarino was brilliant at the Euros. But yeah, I just couldn't remember her name for Toffee. Well, here's Trippier, cross, cut back. It's gone out. I think it's Newcastle corner now. Arsenal needed those Canadians. Third strong Canadian keeper. We needed the one on Chelsea's women's. Man U now going Canadian. There was one today, Man City versus Villa at half-time. At midday. It was 1-1. You're still beating me by a little. Yeah. This is my strong area though, WSL. Potman with the header wide there. 62 minutes played now. Riviere grew up a forward. Now she'll bring back and does real well with it. Cool. But yeah, Cascarino is the one I'm looking forward to from today's signings. I will watch out for Riviere anyway, but yeah, it's Cascarino I'm excited by. What's this that's just come through here? So Man City have just completed the signing of Maximo Perrone. So Man City have just signed a player. I think Crystal Palace are making a triple substitution here. Let's have a look. So Hughes is definitely one of them. I think Elise might be one of them. I think Saha might be done now. He's back down injured again. So yeah, Elise is going to be coming on. Mateta's coming on, so I'm guessing that's the end of Edouard. Will Hughes is coming on, so I'm going to guess that's Schlupp. But I think Saha is definitely done now. I was reading that Man City have just signed Perrone from Velez. I don't know much about him, to be fair. Come up to 64 minutes played, but yeah. So yeah, Man City have just signed a new player. So Mateta, Elise, and Hughes. Eze is coming off. Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting Eze to come off. Eze, Saha, and I'm going to guess Edouard. Oh no, Edouard's staying on. Okay, so it's not Edouard. And it is Schlupp. Yeah. Good. I don't rate him. I know it's mean, but I don't rate him. And Mateta will come on. 65th minute. How am I meant to do this then? Well, give me 2 seconds, guys, because I can't seem to send the message. There we go. Has that come through? Awesome. So there we go. So there's the subs for Crystal Palace. Come up to 66 minutes played now. Here's Callum Wilson, blocked off by Hughes. It goes back to Richards. It goes back to Ward. Ward trying to find Elise up against Byrne. That is just the craziest competition ever. Here's Willock. Can Willock find a nice cross now? It goes out for another Newcastle corner. So Isaac and St Maximin are coming on for Newcastle. Probably after this, when it next goes out of play, Newcastle taking their corner first. Trippier with the corner. Crystal Palace clear it. Was a dangerous corner, but it was just lucky for Crystal Palace that it fell comfortably for them. Pope finds Trippier, who's currently on the left side. Here's Bruno. Longstaff, who finds Dan Bird, who's come over to the right side. I love the fact that he's like 6 foot whatever. He plays as a fullback. It's hilarious. He's not nippy, but he just seems to handle being a fullback really well. It's crazy. But here's Joel Linton with a shot. Is it going to be another corner? No, not yet. Willock nearly finds Longstaff, but AU managed to get his head in the way there. Here's Almiron. Here's AU, fouled by Almiron, so it's a free kick. Maximo Perone and Argentina, is that the one? Yeah, that guy. I will look him up. Brilliant stuff, because I haven't got a clue. I've heard of his name, but I don't know nothing about him. I just know he came from Vélez. I just heard of his name. I don't know why I've heard his name. It might be just transfer talk, to be fair. Yeah. Or it's Bobby Effect 0-0 and Colm is asleep. No, Colm thankfully is awake. But no, it's not Bobby Effect. Why do I get the effect here? To be fair, I've not had a 0-0 for a very long time. So Willock and Wilson are off. St. Maximan and Isaac are on. So there are the subs for Newcastle. Free kick just been taken by Gator. Just gives it away to Newcastle. Oh, jeez. Here comes AU, who finds Edward, who's now on the left. Crosses it in. These crosses have been so poor by Palace today. Newcastle are struggling to get rid of it here. Here's AU, who's managed to get the ball back. Edward, still in the penalty area right now. Now it's getting cleared. Now it's a foul. Foul on Almiron. Oculus. Oh, sorry. I was playing on the Oculus Dream. Jeez. Boss, behave. Oh, God. If he's on about the thing that I think he's on about, that's a virtual reality thing. Yeah, VR headset. I had a feeling it was the Oculus was the VR thing. Another sub here for Crystal Palace. That's Nathaniel Klein. I think Ward is coming off here. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That's again quite a good move, to be honest. I don't like Ward. I don't rate him. I don't rate Klein very much either, to be honest, but there we go. I'm quite harsh on players, I have to be honest. You should see me on playing on FIFA. I get rid of half my squad as soon as I get in the job. I'm like, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. I literally have like 22 players that are challenging for positions all the time. There is never a bad player in my squad. I will get rid of them. But anyway, enough talking about FIFA and Oculus and what's taking it the wrong way. Here's AU, not fouled there. Here's Share back to Botman. Botman a low pass to Bruno, but kind of a bit of a hospital pass there because he did lose out. See as much City are criticised all money in the world, they still make brilliant Wenger-like signings always. Yep. I'm like that, but I prefer FM. Yeah, I don't have time to play FM. To be honest, I don't have time to play FIFA. I haven't played FIFA for months. Yeah, and you know why, Colm. So yeah, I don't have time. They always making money, Man City, with signings. That's what I want. I don't need £100 million signings. I don't mind £100 million signing if it's worth it. I wouldn't have been bothered if we signed Madrid or not. I still think there's a lot of dodginess with that signing, to be honest. That's just me. I just think there's something that doesn't smell right. But it is what it is. Here's AU. Oh, hang on. Crystal Palace are through here. Mateta with a shot. Oh, my word. What a save by Pope. What a shot by Mateta. I was more shocked by the shot by Mateta. That was brilliant. Newcastle just made an absolute hash of that. Mateta, that was definitely a shot on target. That was brilliant. What a shot. Brilliant save by Pope, though. Blimmin' heck. Come up to 73 minutes played now. So it's a corner to Crystal Palace. Hopefully their corners are better than their crosses. I wouldn't say it was brilliant, but Crystal Palace still do have it here. Here's Decore. Sadly, it does have to go all the way back to Mitchell. Mitchell finds Olise. Olise with a... Well, wasn't the greatest crossing. Here's Decore. Decore with a shot. And it's not going to go out for a corner. Pope saves it from going out for a corner there. But this game has recently just picked up a little bit here. It's getting a little bit better. Match stats, 5 shots for Palace, 11 for Newcastle. First shot on target for Palace, 5 for Newcastle. It's a little bit better from Newcastle, from Crystal Palace here. Yeah, exactly. When I've got more time to look into it, I'm going to look into it because something just doesn't ring true for me. Not on the Arsenal half, it's more to do with other factors. Something smells fishy. I don't think we play Chelsea till, is it April? It'll be interesting to see Mudryk at Arsenal. Really will. I want to see what he's like. I want to see his personality and see how he just is, his persona and stuff. I'm just doubting a lot with the Mudryk thing. Maybe it's my suspicious mind. I'm not sure, but 75 minutes played now. 0-0. Second half's slightly better than the first half, I guess. Been done since December on players' side. That new city. Okay. That Perone. Got you. I'm just talking about the Arsenal United game. Colin will be joining me tomorrow. Kick off at 4:30. I've got the show starting at 4:20. Due to the fact Colin's joining me, so we can have a little bit of a chat about the teams and stuff. Normally I just crack on with it and just do all the stuff I need to do before the game starts, but I thought we'd give us an extra 5 minutes to have a little chat. Loads of something, I think, always dodgy in Shakhtar Realm, and Chelsea saying donating all this money, prove it, and the kid was that. He wanted Arsenal, I know it. Well, I've just got a lot of doubts. Vladimir Zinchenko will get the truth someday, yeah. I'm sure Zinchenko will work it out and will be how he needs to be, depending on what he finds out. Just something don't ring right with me. You know, talking about Arsenal, Chelsea offered the same amount. Chelsea just dealt with it in packages better, and there's a certain person that does Twitter stuff, and I think he got involved in it as well too much, and you know, there's just yeah. But anyway, Don't talk about Mudryk. We've got Trossard. I'm actually excited by Trossard signing. I think he'll give us something extra for the last 6 months of this season, and obviously going into next season as well. But definitely something for this season. Newcastle corner. It's been loads of Newcastle corners. This is the type of game I should have done one of those build a bet ones. Mind you, I would have gone for goals. So, yeah, I would have lost. Newcastle corner here. Dan was being pulled. It was another Newcastle corner. Honestly, FFP rules need to be adjusted. Chelsea throwing money around like they're playing Monopoly. Yeah, it's a weird one. We need to see what happens in the next 12 to 18 months, Chelsea-wise, with who goes out now. Before I think that they could be in a problem. There is a rule regarding player contracts, which needs to be looked into as well. So yeah, there's just a lot of messiness for me. Trossard gets us over the hump and will be great in Champions League. I know it. 100% dodgy owners, barely. Yeah, well, I was saying this, I think yesterday, Was I saying that yes? I've done 2 shows recently. I can't remember which one I was talking to him about. Is that with a header there? Gator easily saved. To be fair, it was directly at him. Yeah, but this is how he's running Chelsea is how he runs LA Dodgers. So it's just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. You can do that as long as you've got the incomings to cover it. You can spend as much as you want. There's no limit on how much you spend. It's as long as you're doing it within the rules, and that's where Chelsea need to start. Because I've heard they're after one more signing, and that could be 60 to 70 million. So there's still more to spend, and I can see them doing that in the next few weeks, especially with the team that they're trying to sign someone from have just bought a replacement, basically. So, but without Champions League football, they won't cover it. Well, this is the thing. Are they playing a really high risk game here? But they've got a heck of a lot of players they can sell and move on. And for me, that is where they should be okay. Should be being the operative word. Almiron with a shot. It's just gone out of play now. He reckons it took a touch. Did it take a touch? Oh, it did take a touch. Okay, so it's another Newcastle corner. Isaac Nearly Cooper. Yeah, they say Chelsea's still working on some mids. Yeah, the centre mid that they are trying to get that team has just bought a new midfielder. So, to be fair, that might be to cover another one, but it's looking like this specific person might be leaving, and I'm guessing it's going to be about between 60 to 70 million, I'd say. But won't they have to sell this window to stay within the bracket? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's all changed, and from what I've been told and conversations that have happened, summer will be the one that they really do need to sort everything out. I don't know why they're going mad like this month. It doesn't make much sense to me. I'm sure they may have saved some money if they waited till the summer, but they've gone crazy, and we shall see. I think I won't be shocked if 1 or 2 leave Chelsea this January, but I think summer will be a big one for them. I think that will be there'll be quite a lot of exits and not many coming forward. forwards. Yeah, they literally have. So, see, I'm not going to be harsh and say they've bought and wasted loads of money, because they've got Nkunku coming in the summer as well. That's already dealt with. Madueke, as Moss will know, I love that kid. I think he's brilliant. I loved watching at PSV. I probably rated him more higher than Gakpo, to be honest. I just think you don't know what he's going to do, and I like that about him. Well, stuff it then, Dick. Don't worry, you don't have to. It's a weird one. It really is, because obviously Newcastle haven't managed to do this, but it's different for Newcastle, and that's where the people are getting lost with it. In a few, I'm trying to think in a few seasons, I think, depending on where they finish this season, they could do it in the summer. But if they continuously progress like they are now, they could definitely do it within the next two seasons. And with United, they have the capabilities of spending massive amounts in the summer. And I'm not even kidding you. They've got the capabilities of spending a fortune if they do it in the right way. Because there's a lot. Not a foul there. Coming up to 84 minutes played. Here's Zach, but he's all by himself here. Miron looks absolutely knackered, so he's trying to get up there. Here's Isaac. Guess what? It's another Newcastle corner. Don't worry, you just don't have to sell the same season regard. There is ways around it. There are ways around it. You just have to know how to do it. And yeah, to be honest, the FFP rules have severely been relaxed. There will be punishments, but I can't see punishments happening for anybody now, anytime soon either. I can't see Man City acting any differently either because of that, or PSG. I think they'll just continuously do what they do, spend big when they need to. But yeah, I can see United spending an absolute fortune in the summer. No, I ain't kidding. Absolute fortune. So it's 85 minutes gone. Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. And without you guys, I probably would be asleep. Jacob Murphy coming on. Who's coming off? It's Almiron. I'm not surprised he absolutely looks shattered. Murphy is coming on. Oh dear. Not been an awful game, but it's not been brilliant either. I think Crystal Palace would be happy with the point. I think Newcastle, like I've said, they draw a heck of a lot of games, and eventually that is going to catch up on you. And I think that's where they might finish fifth. For me, I think guaranteed top four right now for three teams is definitely Arsenal, City, United. I think there is a spot up for grabs for one team. I don't think Newcastle definitely are in there, but I think someone else might grab it. Here's St. Maximan fouled there, surely, by Decore. Decore is going to get a yellow card. You know, I would kind of like I told Luke this morning when watching Frankfurt versus Schalke. No, I would. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Is that game already played or? No, that was this morning. Oh, Lundstrom. Another sub here for Crystal Palace now. I think this is probably just to wind down the time. Oh, Fuklug. Yeah, he's the one that was scored in the World Cup, isn't he? 29, I think he is, isn't he? I think his age profile kind of takes him out of what Arsenal would want. But for me, that slot has already been taken by Birev, who will definitely come good. You know how much I love my Birev. But yeah, I do get what you mean. It's a Newcastle chance just over, and is it a corner? Yeah, he was definitely the highlight. So I will get on your comments, but I've got semi-typing because there is going to be a Crystal Palace sub, so I'm just in the typing mode at the moment. It didn't. Oh, it is going out for a corner. So here's the corner for Newcastle. Can they score in the dying minutes of this game? Here's Murphy. What the heck was that? Crystal Palace are trying to get it clear. Hughes. Rubbish clearance, but I suppose safety first. So number 77 coming on here. Edward off. And Ozu, number 77. Youngest ever player for Crystal Palace. I'm not going to try and spell his name until I actually see it come up here because I don't want to guess it. So it's Ozu on. So that's 90th minute subs there. So I'll just get back to your comments now, mate. Oh, Newcastle just gone wide. Fulker got the one highlight right now and score. Yeah, true. Birev and Balogun coming good. St. Maximin. Luke Morrison, number 77. Yeah, Luke's going to have a problem with that. I know he has problems with these and high numbers, but he is an academy product, so he's going to have a high number anyway. He's not going to have a low number because he's an academy product. You know, we've got players that are on 40s, 50s. It's 4 added minutes of injury time. Aren't I lucky? 4 more minutes of no scores. Trippier clears there. All right, so Crystal Palace just taking a free kick. To literally just a Newcastle player, which is pointless. Here's Decore. This is probably... It's definitely a highlight of one of my worst 0-0 games I've done. The worst one I think was probably Leeds Villa, I think. That was awful. This one's had some entertainment, but not a lot. Here's Ozu. Got to make sure I don't say Uzu. Number 77, Raymond Book, Bruins legend, must say now. Olise cross. Well blocked by Newcastle, out for a Crystal Palace throw-in. Crystal Palace fans trying to raise their club, but honestly, I'm surprised most of them are awake. Here's Will Hughes. They just can't pass to each other at the final end. ridiculous. Here's Richards. Back to Gator. Who clears. This is going to finish 0-0, people. Can't see that anything happening in the last 2 minutes. Oh, God, there is worse. There is definitely worse. Yeah, but this is... It's up there. I'd say the Man City 4 Chelsea game was worse than this. And there was 4 goals in that game. That was just awful. Hated it. Just final products from both teams in this game. Jason Tyndall has been booked. Who's Crystal Palace? I don't know. Are they trying to play for the draw? Elise loses out to Joel Linton. It's going to be a foul. I'll see FTSM Tottenham preview early tomorrow morning. They may lose this London derby too. Yeah, that will be Paxton Road. They're doing a preview tomorrow. Are they doing it tomorrow? Yes, that'll be probably Sam, my favourite Tottenham fan. So yeah, tune into that. But I'm guessing there's about a minute to play now. It's ridiculous. Bit of argy-bargy between Joel Linton and Elise there. Elise is going to lose that battle very easily. There was an Everton once, cannot remember when we did together. I think that was. Sam, don't make me hurl. Yes, that one. That is full time. It has finished. Nil. I am going to just put that up. It has finished 0-0. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Big up to Moss, Colm, everyone that's got into the comments. Thank you for giving it a like. If you are new to the channel, just hit the notification bell. I will be back tomorrow to do the Arsenal Man United game with Colm here on FTSN, but also on the Armory TV tomorrow. So please check us out tomorrow. I will be back. Have a very good rest of your day wherever you are. But right now, I am definitely out of here. Take care. Bye-bye.